I'm Christian Lee. I'm here for Aztec Music Group, and we're here with. Would you guys like to introduce yourselves?
Yeah, my name is Wyatt Shears from The Garden.
I'm Fletcher Shears.
Hi, and so you guys, we were talking earlier. This is the first tour date for your U.S. tour, and so you guys like San Diego? How?
Yeah,
you guys have been here before, right?
Yeah, many times actually. We grew up coming here as kids, and then played like quite a bit of shows here too.
Nice. And so, what city? My first question for you guys is: what city is a great place or like fun to play at that most people wouldn't expect?
I guess it depends on people's like perspectives on places. You know, like if they don't know about a certain place,
Okay.
but
personally, for you guys,
We've only played here once, but
I'm not talking.
no, I know.
Oh, okay.
When we played in Jakarta, Indonesia,
Oh, wow.
we didn't really expect much, but it was a very crazy show. We've only played there once, but I didn't expect it. So
yeah, that or like Singapore or something like that, Hong Kong or whatever the case may be. Those ones were definitely surprises. You know.
Omaha, Nebraska is a good place to play.
Oh, okay, cool. I wouldn't expect that. That's interesting. Yeah. Okay, and so you guys going on tour, you guys will be on the road, and so are you guys gonna be on a tour bus or a van, or what's it gonna be like?
Just got Ford Transit. Back. It's like
okay.
Yeah.
But even with transit, it still takes some time going around to like every venue, every city.
Yeah.
And so what do you guys do usually to pass the time?
Usually coming up with new tactics every time we do it, but usually just listen to music or space out or talk, get in conversations, or we have a few DSs in the car this time, so we might try to play some Mario Kart, just really basic things,
That's cool. Okay, and so I know you guys are big into music and you guys do fashion as well, but you guys don't do too much acting, and I know you guys are fond of the movie Slapshot. So if you guys had a chance to act, would you guys be in Slapshot 4?
Is there a 4 coming out?
No.
Oh, okay.
So if you guys were to be in it, because I know they made 2 and 3, but
if I had a chance,
it'd be fun to be like a background character in Slapshot. I think it's sort of kind of a silly movie to begin with. I don't really know if I'd want to be represented as a main character, but it'd be fun to be one of the players fighting in the background for sure.
Yeah, it really just depends on the part, but it'd be cool to be part of that franchise, I guess.
Yeah. Okay, and so off camera we were talking because you guys have been toured with Mac DeMarco before, and so I want to ask you about this person specifically though. Who is Yuki Kikuchi? Did I say it right?
Oh, I think so. I don't even know.
I think so. He's just a friend of ours, just somebody we've known for a few years, and he takes pictures and he just does like various creative things and just a friend of ours.
Yeah, he's actually, I think he's DJ'd for you guys, like opened up before, right?
Never before.
Really? Yeah, okay. I thought he did it for, I don't know, it was like a Puzzle or Enjoy show. Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know. Did he do anything for Puzzle?
No.
He might have. No, I guess I don't think he did. Yeah, I don't think he ever did.
Okay. Well, that's fine. And so, I have a question specifically for you, Fletcher. And so, when the Garden first started out, you guys, you had these early albums, and all of them were pretty short, just like 2 minutes or less. And so, in a way, you guys were kind of like Minutemen, in sort of way. So, how do you guys feel like your music has evolved since then?
I think it's kind of always evolving. I mean, every album doesn't sound like the last one, I think, but it always has the Garden backbone to it. So, I think for the most part, just like the album that comes out tomorrow, it sounds a little bit like the other stuff, but it's like evolved. It's not, I don't know, we don't really like focus on like making sure they sound more evolved. I think they kind of just do.
Yeah, it's kind of like we don't, it's almost like cringeworthy to us to like repeat the same thing we did on the last one, so we kind of just want to and we always got new ideas and things, so we just want to just keep moving forward with them,
Yeah.
As long as we're happy with it, that's all that matters, I guess.
And so you guys say you have the album coming out, and so what's the album titled?
The album title is Mirror Might Steal Your Charm.
And is that like kind of like a reference to Dorian Gray, or?
What's Dorian Gray?
Oh, Dorian Gray, it's about a guy, he says there was like a portrait, and like it steals his charm, like, and he just stays useful, and like the portrait gets older.
No, actually.
I've never heard of that. But, no, Mirror Might Steal Your Charm is essentially like how you might see yourself a certain way. You might think you have charm, for example, but look in the mirror to see something different, more like a little bit of a reality check, and how mirrors can kind of offer that at times. So it could steal your charm away from you, and kind of bring you back down.
That's a cool message.
Thanks.
Yeah. And so, I mentioned Miniman earlier too, but I think one of your guys' favorite bands, or one that you guys like listened to a lot when you were younger, was the Minutemen, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
And I actually have a gift for you, Fletcher. It's actually their first EP.
Oh,
Paranoid Fan.
I love that EP.
That's a good one, man.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, you're
I
welcome.
appreciate that. That's really
Is
cool.
there anything else you could say about like the influence of Minutemen on your music?
George Hurley was a huge influence on my drumming. I used to try. I even like cut my hair like him when I was younger, just so I could flop it around like he did when I played drums. But yeah, I like George Hurley was like probably my first like drumming influence because he had his own style and he was doing weird stuff on the drums, and it made me want to have my own style. So he's definitely one of my first influences for sure.
Yeah, that's one of the best records too.
Yeah,
probably my favorite, just because it's raw.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And also too, you guys been drumming. You guys been playing music since you guys were kids. And so, is there anyone like you're emulating when you're drumming, or?
I try to, I guess, not really emulate anybody. I get inspired by people over time, but I kind of just try to just do whatever comes naturally, I guess. I don't think too much when I'm playing drums. I think the more I think, the worse I play.
Okay. And side note too, so like there's a quick question. On Netflix, there's this comedian, Fred Armisen. He made this stand-up called Stand Up for Drums, for drummers. Have you seen that yet?
I have not.
Oh, you should
Is
see
it like
that.
drum humor?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think
that'd be
you might
funny to
enjoy it,
watch.
yeah. I've heard a lot of drummers and like it, so maybe you'll be one of them too.
I'll check it out.
Okay. And so here, I'm gonna name some names and you guys just tell me who they are to you if you guys remember. So Nick Parker, Nick Gonzalez, Dennis Simpson, Cole Yule, and Jeremy Say. Who are they?
How did you find out the hockey team in high school?
That's a high school hockey team.
Yeah.
And you guys actually won championships, right?
I think we won like one tournament, but we might have won more.
Oh,
I
well,
can't
yeah,
remember.
tournament.
Maybe we did.
I can't remember.
And so it was what, the Spartans Villa Park hockey team?
Yeah, good times,
Awesome.
really good times.
Yeah, and so I could tell, you guys love hockey. I've watched like a ton of you guys like just roller skating around, and every interview you guys talk about it passionately. And so let's move on to Wyatt too. So I have a question specifically for you. And so you said like you like one of your favorite hockey teams was Tampa Bay Lightning, the Tampa Bay Lightning hockey team.
Yeah.
And so I actually have a gift for you too, and it's actually
Oh
this.
damn, dude! Well, how'd you know I like the Red Wings?
Well, I knew you liked the Red Wings, but specifically the player too.
How'd you know I like Steve Yzerman?
Like you guys are the Garden. Man.
Damn, man, that's
and
cool.
I found out, he's the manager for manager for the Lightning.
Yeah,
Tampa Bay
he
Lightning
works
right
with
now.
the Lightning now. Steve Yzerman was the biggest idol to me as a kid.
So why
I
was
thought-
he an idol to you?
I just thought he had a cool face. He was a team captain. He was also really good and on my favorite team. So, yeah, thanks, man. This is definitely gonna go up in my room
No problem.
for sure because this is badass. You don't see these starting lineup ones too much
Yeah.
anymore. Where'd you get it, if I may ask? You don't have to tell me if you
It's
don't
a
want to. Thanks. It's super
No
cool.
problem. And so my next question for you, it's actually another person too. Who is Lily Banks? Lily Jane Banks.
Is that Louis Burke? That's an old
It's like
friend.
it's like somebody we've known since we were like little
like
kids.
literally like birth. Yeah.
Awesome.
We don't see her or talk to her very much anymore, but yeah, she was like
Yeah, I'd
Just
like
like
to.
a
I just
childhood friend.
I'd like to. I just don't. I don't even really know how to contact her now.
Okay. And so let's move on too. And so
Why do you ask?
I just want, you guys did Garden. I thought it'd be an interesting question to ask. And so here, let me go through a list of bands for you guys. And so Miss Hannah's Victims, Identical Heads, S2C, Alert. So what are those band names?
Okay, so Alert was one that started in 4th grade. We only played 3 really parental guarded shows. That was with me, my brother, and then a guy named Matt. Then S2C was a band that started actually playing a little bit more clubs and backyard parties and whatever, and that was with me, my brother, and a guy named Nick Beatty, and that lasted for maybe 3 years, but it was still pretty mellow. MHV is where real shit started to happen. We started to play a lot of clubs, we started to play a lot of shows just in general, and we actually released some records, one in Japan, and then we released a record on tape in Burger Records. And that's with the guy who's over in that room, Rex Osterkamp. And then
Rex.
Identical Heads was pre-garden, us just trying to figure out what we wanted to do next.
It was like it was kind of basically garden, but not really garden.
Yeah, exactly. You can hear some certain things, but it was kind of a mess. But we were trying to figure it out, and we called it Identical Heads for like a second, and then I don't remember if there's any more you said, but
I think that's it.
yeah.
And so, just a quick question about that too. Did you guys incorporate anything from those past bands into what makes the Garden today?
I mean, I think over time, like, whatever you learn from those musical endeavors, like, comes into what you're doing now.
Yeah, you live and you learn, you know.
You learn things over time, and they stick with you.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, a question for you guys: have you guys ever seen the movie The Parent Trap with Lindsay Lohan?
It's been a long
I don't think I've
time.
ever
Probably
actually,
since I was.
I can't say that I've actually seen it before.
Probably since like early elementary school.
But I know it's about the twin
Mhm.
girls, yeah.
And so I know the band, like, even for your album coming out tomorrow, you guys have, like, a mascot in some ways, you know, like the medieval jester.
Yeah.
And I know you guys say, you know, you guys consider yourselves jesters because, you know, you guys are entertainers.
Yeah, for sure.
But, you know, jesters are usually seen as, you know, more like, you know, jokesters.
Like fools.
And, like, yeah, fools and comedians. And so my question for you guys is, have you ever pulled something, like, similar to, like, you know, The Parent Trap, where you guys, like, you know, pretend to be each other for, like, anything?
That's a question that from time and time again we always get asked, and I wish I had a cool answer, but the answer is just we've never tried it. You know, that's the boring answer. You know, I wish I had a cool response, but I don't, unfortunately.
That's okay. Well, I have one last question for you guys.
Yeah.
And so, you know, there's always, I think, since high school, or maybe even further, there's always been a lot of talks and rumors about you guys. But if you were to create a rumor about yourselves, what would it be?
You know, I've actually thought about that before.
I have a tail.
Maybe like that.
We both got tails.
We both got tails.
All right. Well, thanks for doing the interview. But before we wrap it up, I just want to know, where can we find you guys on social media, and where can we find your music?
Spotify, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Flickr.
That's probably it.
Yeah, that's probably it.
And where can we find you under? Is it just The Garden, or?
Oh yeah.
Usually,
yeah.
maybe give or take a couple underscores here and
Yeah,
there.
underscore if we had to.
Awesome. All right. I think that's